are, top of the mountain. This time it's not a green screen like my studio. You know, I've done this before. I do this at certain times during the year. You know, I like to come up here and, you know, sort out my my thoughts. And why not a better day than Father's Day? Okay, Father's Day, one of my favorite days of the year, or Father's Day weekend. Tomorrow's Father's Day. What I like to do is I like to reflect a little bit about what it took for, you know, my dad to get here, what it took for my grandpa to get here, to put perspective on life. You know, my grandfather lived in Poland. Okay, ooh, see, not a green screen, there's a B. Anyway, you know, what he had to do in order to get here to bring the Redler family to the United States. He was in Poland, kind of like the movie The Pianist, and you know, got word that the Nazis were coming and escaped to Russia, and then actually went back to get his wife, who he knew from 4th grade, or his girlfriend at the time, and they escaped to Russia to go into a Siberian work camp. And that's basically where my dad was born, you know, in the freezing Siberian work camp, where they cut his umbilical cord with the knife and they threw him in the oven to keep him warm. P.S. They survived. 90% of our family didn't. They came over on that boat, the same boat you see in all those movies that they try and recreate. With my dad was about 2 or 3 coming on that boat, you know, to Ellis Island, where, you know, you actually saw the Statue of Liberty, and it was a sign of freedom, which is why we all are here, or what the, you know, what we try and preserve around the world. If not, well, I'm not even getting to that. But anyway, I've been to Ellis Island, but I was only there for a movie premiere with Will Smith. But anyway, that's perspective. And then my dad got drafted to Vietnam, and actually my grandparents got word when he was in Vietnam that he was killed, and he wasn't. So imagine that. That was definitely not an easy time period. And anyway, he survived, and he came, you know, back, and he, you know, wound up marrying my mom, and here I am. So, you know, a lot of endurance, you know, a lot of things that people have to go through in life to get to where they want to go. So I would say on this weekend, make sure, you know, you try and spend some time with your dad if you can. You know, if you have the luxury of your grandpa being alive, you know, maybe you're younger, you know, talk to him, ask him some stories, learn from them. So then you could take what they've learned, you know, and how they've influenced you, and you could do it with your own kids, which is, you know, why I'm here with my family, and I love it, and it's one of my favorite things to do is be a dad. So you have influencers in life, and you have, you know, if you're, you know, going down memory lane or putting things in perspective, you know, let's talk the market, because that's really why, you know, some of you guys follow me on Twitter and with T3 Live. And, you know, we're in June now. We're almost halfway through the year. We've had this, you know, remarkable rally, right? I think the S&P was up about 17% or so. You know, a lot of people enjoyed it. Some people didn't. Some people had opinions. Some people didn't perform the way they wanted to perform. But you know what? Wipe it clean. Okay, we're coming into the half a year. This half of the year is over. We're now in a phase right now which, you know, could be a corrective phase or it could not be. You know, we're not exactly sure. If you follow me, you know that I have portfolio approach and I have tactical approach. Portfolio approach is when leading stocks are above their 8 and 21-day moving average, volatility is low, you could hold 8, 12, 15 stocks, stocks break out, they hold their breakouts, it's healthy, and that's one way of going about it, and that's if you follow intermediate trends. Then every now and then you get these spots where the market, you know, goes into a corrective phase, and you never know what it's going to, you know, what it's going to amount to or how deep it's going to go. You could have levels. Okay, we've seen this type of action 2 other times throughout the course of this year. One was right around 1530, and then we resumed. The other one's at 1597, and now since May 22nd, you know, there's no teleprompter, no nothing, just saying things out of my head. That was the outside day. I don't even have a teleprompter in my studio, by the way. Brittany uses it for the lead-in, but anyway, besides that, you know, that was the outside day. That was the day I said, okay, let's figure out what's next. From there, you know, we went from that high, I think it was 1687, we went all the way down to 1598. We pierced that 50-day about a week and change ago. That Thursday created a really nice trade, traded back to about 1650, got contained by that downtrend that has been controlling the market since that outside day. And then I believe a few days back, it seemed like we were going to fall apart. We didn't. We retested that 50-day and then bounced off it. You know, looked a little stronger than the bears would have liked. Then Friday had some weakness. So here we are in tactical approach. Not sure whether or not we're going to get some more corrective type action, which we could, okay, or we hold in there and then we break that downtrend. So what you need to have is your levels, okay? The resistance right now that stands, that I think a lot of bears are trading against, it's like a zone, because it's not just a point now. Points get violated. You have the high frequency traders, you have the computers, you have all these people out there that know how to steal your lunch. They know where stops should be on the long side, the short side. So it's got to be more of a zone. So that resistance zone to me is 1645 to 1655. That's pretty much where we stalled again on Friday. And then in the middle of this range, you have like the 1622-ish. You know, below that, I think all the, you know, the talk's going to be that we take out the 50-day the next time, take out 1613, go below 1598, and see the 100-day down at 1576. And then there's also some talk that we might go to the 200-day, but you don't know. But right now, if you're in a macro, you know, individual, maybe you have a little risk off. If you put money in 401ks, 529s, I'd say keep doing that every month. But if you're an intermediate trader like me, that, you know, manages their positions, you know, real time every single day, like, you know, most of my hundreds of associated members of my broker dealer, CVSX broker dealer T3 trading group, that, you know, you want to be a little flexible. Okay, if we start breaking below 1622, maybe you lean a little bit more short. If we get a break and close below 1613, you add to that, and then we go below 1600, maybe you cover some, get ready to buy 1576, but work out a plan. The past is the past. This year is, you know, halfway over almost. Some people performed, some people didn't, and if you did perform, congratulations. Because technically there were a lot of things that worked out in your favor if you didn't have opinions, and if you booked a lot of those profits, you know, the bears that were being bearish the whole time that might get this correction, if they start seeing that right, they can't take your money because you booked it, you trimmed and trailed it, it's in the bank, and the only way they could take it back from you is if they go to jail, which they're just not looking to do. But anyway, it's just fun. So with all that said, you know, it is beautiful. You know, I run up here all the time, and it's good to see that, you know, I can still do it, not quite over that hill yet. That's how I relax, how I, you know, sort out all my thoughts, and, you know, I'm excited about the, you know, just the future, the presence, and, you know, and if you're not, just do some small changes to get yourself on that path, whether it's in the market, whether it's in life. You know, do make sure if your dad is alive, you know, give him a call. If your grandpa is, same thing, try and spend some time. And, you know, we appreciate you moms also. But, you know, for Mother's Day, everyone makes reservations. For Father's Day, we go out usually, get our own stuff, barbecue our own meals. It just shows you how sometimes dads are unappreciated. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the roads and the water and back in the studio for the morning call on Monday. Have an awesome weekend.